right, so the first thing we want to do at home to get this rhubarb crisp ready to go is to flip our ovens onto 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not ask me what it is Celsius, because I do not know. Okay, so then the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to prep up our rhubarb. So we're going to prep up at about 2.5, 2.25 cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the outside parts of my rhubarb. And again, I always have a little kitchen bowl just to sort of discard waste. And we're going to try to cut up about 1/2-inch pieces on the rhubarb. So I'll lob the tips off, and then what I'm going to do is I will take my knife. I can also like cut it once in half to make it a little easier. I'm just going to cut mine down the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a one-step all. So I'm going to cut it in half and then slice it down the middle lengthwise to all my pieces first. And then once you have all those pieces cut in length, I'm going to line up my my rhubarb, and we're just going to slice along the edge. So about 1/2-inch pieces. So again, I'm holding my knife here at the bottom, and I hold the bottom of the rhubarb with my bottom knuckles, and just nice and easy dice along. And then I'm going to transfer those pieces into an empty kitchen bowl. All right, so when all that rhubarb is all nice and cut up, I'll transfer all of that. Might be about 2.5 cups worth. Okay, we'll transfer that over. And then for the recipe, we're going to combine this with some berries. So in the recipe, it states that you could use frozen strawberries or frozen raspberries. I got some fresh strawberries, so I'm just going to go ahead and prep those up. But if they're frozen, just sort of rinse and sort of gently thaw them out in a strainer over water. So if you're using frozen raspberries or strawberries, you can go ahead and do that now. So just rinse them over some cold water. But otherwise, I'm going to kind of clean up the tops of my strawberries. This is a really, other than just a little bit of prep work, this is a really simple dessert. Whoops. Again, so I'm doing that one step all. So I'm doing just lobbing all the greens off the top of my strawberries first as my first step. And then I will come along and slice them up. So one step, all do one process first and then move to your next for efficiency's sake. Clean up your cutting board if you got a few leafy greens. And then for those strawberries, I'm just gonna put them all bottom or top side down so that they're flat. And I'm just gonna slice little, kind of just little slivers of strawberries, kind of almost matching the size of the rhubarb, maybe a little bit bigger.
So Nick, is this a family recipe you guys use or have had?
Yeah, my mom sent me a recipe. She's the expert baker here in my family. So she sent me some things to kind of help me design this, but there's a few variations on which I'm taking today. So she sent me one which uses like butter and actual sugar, which you can use in this, but I'm gonna go the vegan route where I'm gonna be substituting butter for coconut oil. And then instead of sugar, I'm gonna use honey today as my sweetener.
Nice. Does that change much of the flavor profile or the texture at all?
Well, if you use straight up sugar, it would definitely be a tad bit sweeter. In terms of texture, it probably shouldn't matter too much, especially when it comes to the crumble, because the consistency of the coconut oil is the same as butter. And so when you're getting the crisp, you want it to be kind of crumbly, and you'll have maybe like little chunks when we mix it up. But in terms of the overall flavor, not too bad. And maybe just a little bit, quote unquote, healthier. But when it comes to desserts, I don't know what's healthy, right? Maybe just go for it. But I wanted to do something for some of the people that might want more of a vegan study on this. So that's why I'm going that route for this video. Okay, so when those strawberries are done or your raspberries are done, you'll transfer that all to one bowl. And then with that bowl of rhubarb and berries, you're gonna add about a tablespoon worth of lemon juice, and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sweetener. So it would be either your sugar, your coconut palm sugar, your honey, your maple syrup. And I'm just gonna eyeball it here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir that up. Whoops, I got a lot of honey on my finger. So stir up the sweetener with the fruit and the rhubarb and the lemon juice. And then you'll want to pull out, once it's nice and mixed, you'll want to pull out an 8x8 baking sheet or baking dish. So doesn't matter if it's metal or glass or whatever, but 8x8. So 8 and then 8. And then you're gonna take whatever oil base that you're using, butter or coconut oil, you're gonna take a little dab, and then you're gonna grease up your pan. So I'm going to take a little dollop of coconut oil and I'm going to rub into the corners, onto the sides of my pan. You could also use a cooking spray if you had that too. But just make sure you get the oil right in the crevices, okay? And once that grease pan get on the edges there, rinse your hands. Okay, so now what you're gonna do, once that baking dish is greased up, you're gonna transfer your fruit and rhubarb mix into the 8x8 baking dish and just spread it out into a nice even layer. I'll kind of pat mine down just a little bit.